host and founder of the Psychic News Network. How are you doing? I'm back in my normal space. In very unnormal times. Sorry about the delay. I was making tea because I realized that I promised that I'd read tea leaves tonight. So after a little hiatus from my regular space, we're back. We're still, hang on. We're still loving the USA because it's our country. And we're not going to let it sink. We're not going to let it fall. I feel like I'm so far away because I'm at a bigger table. I might fix that in the future. The Christmas decorations are semi still up, but the tree's all undecorated. Looks very naked. I'm waiting for tree pickup day. Today is, man, I need to put my new calendar up. It's hump day, January 8th. Is that right? I'm so confused. Today's January 8th. Yes, that's correct. I was driving back here. It's on the road, driving back from the nursing home a little while ago. And there was a car in front of me. I think the universe does this on purpose. There was a car in front of me, an old rickety car, an old Saturn car. Obviously, the person driving the car wasn't very wealthy, to say the least. And I'm not passing judgment or anything. I just want you to know that there's a big Trump Vance bumper sticker. And it got me thinking about how people have been so mind controlled in America, like we talk about all the time. Hello, welcome. Please hit the thumbs up while you're here, and then we'll get to a group hug quicker. Well, the point is, Electrostorm, Saturn cars don't really still exist, but there was a Saturn car in front of me. I mean, obviously, the person didn't have any money. Not wealthy, put it that way. There's a big Trump Vance bumper sticker there, and I just had to talk about it. And I just want to mention again, the reason that a huge part of the reason that we are where we are in the United States of America right now is because we're in psychological warfare, and we've been in psychological warfare for a good part of the last decade. And people that don't, that are gullible, that don't really have a firm sense of what this world can offer and all that, got hoodwinked into believing that somebody like a Trump, a billionaire, was going to be generous and was going to be thinking about them. And as we know, nothing could be further from the truth, as we well know. And as we bear witness to one of the most saintly people and past presidents of the United States being laid to rest after passing at the age of 100, I told you all that I'm not really watching the news, but I did happen to catch, just by chance, Kamala Harris speaking last night. And by the grace of God, I missed Mike Johnson's, whatever he had to say, who spoke before Kamala Harris. So it's breathtaking. The polar opposite universes. And I couldn't help but notice in the crowd of people in Congress at that gathering last night, where there are various people giving eulogies. Did anybody catch MAGA Mike Johnson's? I mean, you couldn't pay me to watch whatever he said. Yeah. You couldn't pay me. You really couldn't. I literally mean that. You couldn't pay me to listen to what MAGA Mike Johnson had to say at Jimmy for a eulogy at Jimmy Carter's memorial. The funeral's tomorrow. Couldn't pay me. And then I noticed people in Congress in the crowd, and you know, you see like Amy Klobuchar and Ted Cruz behind her, and you see like the disgusting John Kennedy from Louisiana with, you know, and Nancy Pelosi, you know, there, and just like these, like Hakeem Jeffries next to MAGA Mike Johnson, and it's like, what are they doing there? What are these MAGA insurrectionists doing at a Jimmy Carter memorial when everything that they are is the absolute antithesis? I mean, it couldn't even be any more glaringly in our faces how much that Jimmy Carter was on the other end of the complete spectrum and stood for selflessness. Jimmy Carter gave up his peanut farm, his family's peanut farm, when he took on the presidency. And it's, I know, it's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable, this moment that we're in. You can see it's very, very windy here. It's been windy all week. You can see my Harris Waltz banner that's just flying all over the place behind me. And before we get into the cards, I just want to tell you that I pick up a lot about what's going on in the room. And I also want to mention that we've been sending white light and angels in our visualization into the Capitol building, and please keep doing it. Please keep visualizing white light in the Capitol building. We're going to take a look at what the American public that's not continuing to be under cult mind control, what we mostly thought of that. What's been going on, what was going on Friday when they voted for MAGA Mike to be Speaker. What was going on Monday when they certified, I can't even say his name, to be the next resident of the White House. I'm going to tell you the common thread. Candle is lit. Good for you. I would have lit one, but I was in a little bit of a hurry. But I will tonight. I've felt this all along, and I'm just going to tell you what I have felt all along, and it started with Merrick Garland. There are a lot of heinous, horrible death threats everywhere. And it's no excuse. We'll take a look at whether we're going to see the Jack Smith report about the insurrection and the Orange Monster's involvement in that. And I just want to remind everybody here, thank you for letting me know you're keeping your candles lit. Just make sure that you don't leave them unattended. What we're bearing witness to, and I saw this on Monday night when I was reading on what's going on, and it's stuck in my mind because sometimes these things do, that I pulled this Eight of Swords twice when I was reading about what's going on in Congress. Our government is being, I'm going to put it this way, our government is being held hostage. And when I saw Kamala Harris yesterday, when she spoke, when she gave that little bit of a eulogy, she is strong, she is resolute, she is, talk about polar opposites, she is the most presidential woman I've ever seen in my life, and she earned the position of President of the United States, and Donald Trump is like, it's two different planets. It's two different planets, and it's too much, so that's why I'm not watching it. So I really do feel that my guides, as always, your guides are amazing, my guides are amazing. They're helping me to not be exposed to too much of the slime. and giving me kind of guidance on what's okay to watch and what's not okay to watch. And just so you know, I am still immersing myself in the Holy Rosary. I am still immersing myself in Gregorian chant music. I am immersing myself in spiritual talks, and that and only that. And I highly recommend that you do the same. What is clear to me too is this, and I want to be very clear about this. To the MAGA insurrectionists that are in our Congress holding our country hostage, because they are, the coup continues. It doesn't matter to them, even if, I'm going to say when, even when the proof comes out to the public that Elon and Putin, the Kremlin and Trump and all the rest of the oligarchs, that when it comes out that Trump didn't win, and it's on its way to coming out. We'll get into that. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. Just let us be clear. They don't care that they stole this from Kamala. And it's a lot for us to take to watch her, the most qualified, experienced, intelligent, brilliant, light-filled, hugely talented and gifted, hugely, it's just like, it fits like a perfect shoe. She should be President of the United States. Altruistic, I like that. And when she was speaking about Jimmy Carter and Jimmy Carter's life, she stood on principle. She stood on what he stood on about everything that's fundamental to our democracy, caring for one another. And it's so clear that this was stolen from her. So we're going to start with that. She is the President of the United States. Yes. And that's what I want to say, is it's so glaringly, this is not typical. And Damon, I understand what you're saying. In this context, this is not typical. This isn't just misogyny, and this isn't just racism. It's beyond that. Yes, all that is definitely included. But what's beyond that is this is the United States of America being held hostage. And let's just share a moment of, oh my God, this is so unbelievable. Right? This is so unbelievable. So we know how bad the misogyny is. We know how bad the racism is. We know all that ickiness. And like, this is all that, and then way beyond that. Trump is still complaining. I never heard it put quite that way. We're actually going to start with just pulling a few cards on his what do we used to call him? His horribleness? His heinousness. That was a Terry Hallism. His heinousness. And what we're going to look at is his mental state. I can't even believe, because how many times we say it just gets worse and worse and worse. I can't even believe that he's talking about, oh, well, the United States of America needs to just invade Greenland. And please, please, please pray for LA, because, I mean, is it just me? I'm overwhelmed. I'm absolutely overwhelmed with what's going on right now. Because I'm remembering, as LA burns, I'm remembering that Trump promised these billionaire oligarchs, I'm just going to call them that, these moguls, these oil barons, he promised them if they just gave him $1 billion apiece, that he would take away all regulations on fossil fuel burning. And LA is burning right now. So basically, if America, I'm going to say when America turns this around, we'll be okay. But in the scenario where America has him at the helm, God forbid, we die. And he told Gavin Newsom already that if Gavin Newsom, this is several months ago, didn't support him, if Gavin Newsom wasn't loyal to him, the Orange Monster said that forget about any federal help when the wildfires come. Nice guy, huh? Evil. Evil. What am I doing? I'm looking for my nefarious cards. It's too much. It's a lot. So everybody join me in taking a really deep breath in and out. Okay? Yeah, we're still envisioning a miracle. I mean, I'm just getting it out of my system at the moment. And I recommend that you take every opportunity that you can. Write in a journal. You know, I write my Substack articles. I'm almost finished up with a new one. Go to Annette Substack. Please subscribe. There's just times, and that's what we're here for. There's just times where it's like, what? Do we really think that we would be okay? Do we really, is there anybody with a brain that works in their heads that thinks that with him at the helm we would be okay? Let's pull a Forest Fae. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up while you're here. If anyone's new, please subscribe. Oh, look, I just noticed I have a little merch thing on icon, which reminds me, there's no merch available yet, but the Kamala One mugs are being redone with another company so that they'll be dishwasher safe, so there's a bit of a delay. But the offer still stands that if you, when you book a reading, a full reading, you will be sent a free gift of a Kamala One mug. And it says PNN. Let's pull a Fae to see what they want to tell us for guidance today. The Fae for today. It's easy to feel calm when you know the truth. Yes, that's absolutely true. And you know, I'm venting, but it doesn't mean that it definitely doesn't mean that I've caved in. I want you all to be clear about that. Anybody who comes here regularly, that's not me. So we have the owl song. Whisper secrets to the moonlight. Find strength in stillness. There it is. Whisper secrets to the moonlight. Find strength in stillness. So our Fae card is that. I love it. And I will reiterate that what I'm doing, yeah, sorry for your friend who lost her house. I will reiterate that I'm spending most of my time in stillness. And I also want to say, all the people in LA that are suffering right now, don't think for 1 second that the people are not going to rise up. We can't do with burning more fossil fuels. The owl is a United States national bird now. Let's have a dad joke. And we almost have 200 people in attendance, so we'll do a group hug. I'll do algebra, tackle geometry, and even a little calculus, but graphing is where I draw the line. I have my bells now. That's good. Anyway, sorry about the noise. When we have 175 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug. I like that owl. And my guides just said there is power in the stillness, okay? There is power in the stillness. Okay? There is power in the stillness. And I know it's a contradiction in a sense. It's kind of a paradox. It's like, what do you mean there's power in the stillness? Nothing happens in the stillness. I learned a long time ago, my guides told me a long time ago, when it looks like nothing is happening, that's when the most is happening. So when you're in the stillness, you are broadcasting a vibe of peace. It doesn't mean don't activate. Where's Libby been?
Oh, Libby's over here.
I'm sort of getting reoriented to my space.
Up here.
It's been a while. There's Libby. You feel better? How's that? Libby had a little burn. Libby got a little too close to a candle. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I kind of saved him, but he's okay. I know, poor Libby. I do have brand new cards that Dorothy sent me, but they're downstairs, so I'm going to use the used cards to read on. I'm just going to put. I'm going to read on the Orange Monster in a moment, but I want to read first on where the American people are sort of leaning. I know, poor Libby, right? Let's bring Betty and Benny Bunny back. Libby was traumatized, I know. So I'm pulling 3 cards. Oh yeah, just ignore the Orange Monster. Don't give him any attention. And this might sound a little crazy, but you're used to that kind of stuff from me. I keep on telling everyone to not look at it, to not give it any energy. And I noticed that the old Bible story of Sodom and Gomorrah keeps coming up for some reason. And last night I happened to catch a documentary about the evidence of this Sodom and Gomorrah story, where it's like there was this big disaster, this big huge fire, and God said to the Sodom and Gomorrah that were fleeing, don't turn around. And when they turned around, he said, don't turn around or you'll turn into a pillar of salt. Just keep fleeing. And they turned around and turned into, one of them turned around and turned into a pillar of salt. And I know it sounds nuts that I'm bringing this up, but this whole idea of don't look at what is horrible and what is destructive, because you don't want to, dumper turns to salt, right? We don't want to destroy ourselves. Yes, these are my plush friends. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling 3 cards about the American population general vibe. This is what I want to tell you. Through this sacrifice, through the horror that we're going through right now, anticipating how much the Antichrist and the demons that are around the Antichrist, plural, we're sacrificing a lot because of them. Did anyone else get the feeling Mike Johnson and Vance looked nervous? Yes. During the confirmation hearing, yes. And I want to say something about that. We are doing guided meditation, sending troops of angels into the Capitol building. So I think that's having an effect. It's from Thursday night last week. I'll put the link back in the description. We did that guided meditation. It's a second half of a half an hour video. Last Thursday, which was last Thursday? The 2nd. Where the American people are is through what we're having to look at as what we're sacrificing as a country. Through that, now Vance is done. We'll look at him tonight, and we did look at him Monday night too. We will come into the light. There it is. There's the light, and we will come to harmony. It will be because of the things that we see that we stand to lose. So the American people, I know you're probably like, oh, Annette, you're so Pollyanna. The American people are waking up. America went back to her abusive convict ex-boyfriend. Yeah, Damon, and it's because of mind control. Yeah, do that meditation. But anyway, I know it's hard to believe probably, but the light and the harmony come as a result of all the difficulty, all the hardship. When we have 175 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug. Yeah, I can't even look at those MAGA insurrectionists in our Congress. It's like, will somebody just extract them? We are very powerful. We are very powerful. Very, 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 very. And all that's happening, what's happening right now in our country is not for us to fail. It's for us to conquer the evil. It's not for us to be like, oh well, you know, man, oh, you know, what are we gonna do? It's not. It's really not. And Damon's saying, where's the FBI? The FBI and the CIA, the intelligence agencies work behind the scenes. 2 words: death threats. And I'm going to reiterate what I said on Monday and about Friday, the vote for the Speaker of the House, and Monday the certification. What I'm going to say about that, and I'm going to reiterate, I sat and the guides told me that on Election Day and on January 6th, we avoided a bloodbath. And I want you also to know, and I'll ask the pendulum about this, if I have it, that, I don't know how much I should say. There was a violent coup planned. And there were people being pulled into the back rooms there during those votes that were threatened. And we're not alone because the angels are helping us. I am completely clear about that. I'm completely clear about all of it. And if you wonder why nobody's pushing back that you think needs to be pushing back, then you don't understand that their entire lives are being threatened, the lives of themselves and the lives of their families. The American government, America is being held hostage by the enemy, and the enemy is within. And somebody just asked a question that I want to answer, which is, why would they coup? He won because on January 6th, the Democrats had the opportunity to contest it. And if they had contested it, like the MAGAs did on January 6th, actually the wee hours of the morning on January 7th, they protested the certification of Joe Biden. You don't always know what they've done unless they fail. Yeah, perhaps. You didn't get a violent coup? A violent coup didn't happen. I don't think you're following me. Which is fine. It's okay. I mean, there's no problem with that. Time for a dad joke. A dung beetle walks into a bar and asks, "Is this stool taken?" That's funny. Barbara's saying, I didn't get a violent coup. There wasn't a violent coup. I think my mind is too ahead. I think, okay, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I'm not talking about something that happened. I'm talking about what I picked up on. This is the Psychic News Network and my psychic impression that came in very strongly. And I talked about it Monday night. They're preventing any conversation about the truth, which is that the election was rigged and meddled with. And so if a Democrat got up there, like a Jamie Raskin got up there on January 6th and contested the certification of Donald Trump for president, then they okay, I'm going to say parachutes, okay? That's what I'm just going to tell you. That's exactly it, Damon. 21 letters of ascertainment arrived late when they were signed months ago. Why didn't they say anything? I think I just explained it. I do think the steel will be unveiled before the 20th. And I just want to, I promise you I'll get to the cards. There's just so much going on that we need to talk about. Let's go into our logical brains. And our logical brains say, so Barbara, I don't know if you read, but I'm just telling you what I got. And none of us can claim that we're 100% right. I'm just telling you what I know from my psychic impressions. They're threatened. The insurrectionists in our Congress are threatened that the truth will come out. Yeah, your logical brain tells you no way will this stand. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Do you think that the United States of America wants a president of the United States who goes, oh, hey, Canada, let's go. We're going to invade you, and you'll be our 51st state. Do you think the people of the United States of America want a president of the United States that bullies our allies, and as LA is burning, that would offer no semblance of help or caring or compassion, or for any of the natural disasters or the unnatural disasters that global climate change is producing, right? It doesn't make sense for somebody like that, who's a convicted felon, who incited a violent coup, who tried to take down our government. It makes and sells our national secrets. It makes zero sense. And the slightest twitch of protest over the election by the Dems would give the GOP permission to riot, exactly, and death threats, etc. The GOP would think that their violence was justified. Bingo, exactly what I'm saying. It's time for a dad joke. A little boy asked his father, Daddy, how much does it cost to get married? Father replied, I don't know, son, I'm still paying. The people of the United States of America do not want a president who bullies our allies and who wants to take us out of NATO. That is the only thing that keeps us from being attacked. I said too much. Hang on, I just want to see if I have my nefarious cards. They could be downstairs, and I'm not going to go downstairs. Let's take a little break. We're still waiting for 175 thumbs up. Total change of topic to wipe the palate clean. Maria, you have to engage your creative, co-creative thinking, and we're not just going to wait till this is over. We're going to engage our energies to make it be over. Okay? Thank you, Barbara, for there's a lot of Barbaras in the chat. For your support of my taking this risk and going out on a limb. Totally different topic. If you're gluten-free, I'm changing the subject. Write this down. Or even if you're not gluten-free. The easiest peanut butter cookies. I'm going to read this to you. 1 egg, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of sugar, or a little less if you don't want that much. Mix it together, grease a cookie sheet, set the oven to 375, and then put, drop by the teaspoons onto a prepared cookie sheet and bake for 10 to 13 minutes. And if you want, add some chocolate chips and even some extra peanuts, and crunchy peanut butter works best. All right, was that a nice little break? 1 cup of peanut butter. Crunchy's better. I know. 1 egg, just 1 egg. You can afford 1 egg. It's very good, right? The housemates that I lived with before would make these all the time. They're just so good. 1 egg, 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of sugar. Oven at 375, grease cookie sheets, stir them together, drop by rounded teaspoons, and bake 10 to 13 minutes. Make sure you let them set, put them on a rack, and then once they are not hot, they won't crumble. There you go. You make those cookies all the time. All right. I did not see JD's face during the certification, but we are going to read on that. And the nefarious cards are hiding. That means they're too dark for tonight. Let's read on JD. $8.99 a dozen for eggs. Well, there's also avian bird flu is going around. We are being gouged. You heard the egg can be replaced with vinegar? I don't know that. Oh, you could try it and let me know what happens. The people were going around with Trump Vance signs on their cars and waving those flags because they thought the price of eggs was too high. The price of your life kind of matters, right? Okay. Raised ducks for Pete's sake. Yeah. I think the last time I bought eggs, they were $3.99. We're pulling 3 cards on JD Vance, and this card just flipped over by itself. You made some of those peanut butter cookies today? Cool. They're so simple. I just had to share, and it helped us to take a little break from the darkness. Yes, they want chaos. The mug is that they're all about chaos. What JD Vance is afraid of is that he's going to be found out. But let me tell you what the insurrectionists and MAGA are what they have in mind as a plan and have for some time is to have a government in which they get away with everything. Right? Am I right? Because they're planning to dismantle the government completely. And JD was very uncomfortable, and just so you know, I didn't watch any of it. This is my psychic impression. 6 more thumbs up. Let's hug for Los Angeles. Yes, we will. Hit the thumbs up and we'll do a big hug for Los Angeles. I feel like the Los Angeles wildfires right now, like that's gonna not be just forgotten. JD was, okay, I actually texted, when I get big psychic hits, I text Kathy Beale. Oh my goodness, this tea is freezing. And I texted Kathy Beale, our resident astrologer, and because I just got this hit, what's going on with JD? He seems very upset. And there was some kind of astrological configuration that she told me about. JD has a lot of burden on him, an absolute lot of burden. Now, what I want to say too is that I'm actually feeling JD having a lot of pressure in his marriage right now. We can probably read on that a little bit. Because he's married to an Indian woman, and what the MAGAs are proposing is to deport all immigrants. Oh yeah, we have, okay, thank you. We have 177 thumbs up. Is JD Vance's marriage, is it hindering him in some way? Yes. It's kind of like this. We're going to deport all these immigrants, supposedly. And then what about JD Vance's wife? So let's ask this. Is JD Vance under pressure to just step aside? I don't think, okay, let's ask a different question. Is JD Vance is he ultimately going to step, yeah, JD Vance is just going to step aside. Yes, Melania is an immigrant. Yes, absolutely. So it's like, the laws are for thee, but not for me. It's called a monarchy or an oligarchy or a kleptocracy. Autocracy. Authoritarianism. All those terrible words that mean terrible things. Yeah, he's caught in a bad situation and he seems to want to get out is definitely the vibe that I get. And I really do feel like he's there. But put it this way, the MAGAs aren't going around going, "Oh, we love your wife, JD. She's Indian and your children are biracial." That's not happening. Okay, let's do a group hug. Let's do a group hug for the people in LA. And we'll just add into that all the people that are suffering from the ravages of global climate change. And let's also keep in our hug, in our prayers and intentions, of course, our entire country and the world, and all those that are suffering from depression. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you. I feel a lot of movement. I feel psychically, I feel a lot of movement. Which is interesting because I feel psychically that a lot of people have pivoted to prayer and intention or whatever, like turning to the higher power. Getting that very strongly. Whoa, boy. Okay. Does anyone have a question? I know there's so much going on, so I'm just going to throw it out there. Does anyone have a question? We're praying for Amy's son. Please come to Church of Spirituality. And watch Church of Spirituality. We pray for everybody there. Yeah, good energy in that hug. Okay, so JD's pissed because he couldn't find his eyeliner. Every time we do a group hug, it crosses the universe according to quantum physics. Yes. I'm talking all the time. I'm pounding away. All thought is creative. Your heart needs to cry, then cry. Tears are very detoxifying. We're going through a lot. Okay, so nobody's asking a specific question, so I'm going to just pull 3 cards about what Biden knows and what the plan is. That was an awesome hug. What Biden knows and a little bit of what the plan is. Poor JD. I can tell you don't feel sorry for JD. I can see that with all those laughing emojis. Biden. What Biden has that he's what's in the plan? What Biden is thinking and planning. This is exhausting. What's going on in America right now is absolutely exhausting. So I'm reading on Biden, and the Five of Swords is the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. It's very exhausting. It's you know, when you just have extended yourself as far as you can go energetically, that's where Biden is right now. But I have the Three of Cups, and that means ultimately we will be happy with an outcome. And by the way, people are saying Judge Cannon is going to put a stay on the secret documents. I want to sort of rewind a little bit. And first of all, on the lighter side, will Harris wear a dress to her inauguration? I've always seen Kamala Harris being inaugurated in a purple suit. What's blonde and dead in the closet? The hide and seek champion from 1985. I confess that I just went all over the place there. We're going to see the Jack Smith's January 6th report by hook or by crook. Yeah. Okay. Now here, I've never felt like that we would not see it. Will it get leaked before January 20th? I'll take a look at that. But I'm reading on Biden right now. But I just want to rewind and remind everybody that back in the day when the world was sane, when this country had some semblance of sanity, if somebody committed a crime and then they wanted to attack the judicial system for exposing their crime, can we just remind each other that means they're guilty? My word. Yes, they're under the gun. Biden, Harris, our government, under the gun. Kind of literally in a way. It's not as intense, but on January 6, 2021, they had a huge plan to orchestrate to thank you for joining. They had a huge plan to orchestrate a total takeover of our government and murdering people on January 6, 2021. What I pick up on is a similar plan, but it's not as effective. And what Joe Biden and this administration is doing, hand in hand with our intelligence agencies, and not just from this country. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate it. Right? What Biden has is information, and our intelligence agencies have information about the planning of a second violent coup. And that's why I'm saying, that's why we are where we are. And that's my psychic impression. But if you really think about it, it does make a lot of sense too. We'll look at, before we go tonight, we'll look at January 19th, and we'll also look at whether the Jack Smith's report is going to be released to the public, it's going to come out in some way. Avoiding a bloodbath, those are the words that I use. Those are the words that my guides gave me. We avoided a bloodbath, both on the election night, because they clearly stole it, because look how fast, and Trump swept everything. Yeah, right. If you're going to lie, make it a believable lie, right? So this is what the Biden administration has, and our intelligence agencies have been looking at. And I'm just going to say that what they're looking at, it's, oh my God. It's, oh my God. And I do have the Three of Cups, and it's the second time it's come up tonight. And the Three of Cups is we're celebrating something that says, oh, okay, maybe we won't have to all die. Will it make a difference? when we find out that Russia is involved and the election was fixed? Well, that was all in the Mueller report too, and Lama Tangent's asking that question. What I want to tell you about that, I'm just revealing too much tonight. What's happening on this card? I don't know, you told me, it's open to interpretation. They look happy and peaceful. The Three of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite is the three women toasting, right? Damon likes this. The Biden administration knows what they're doing. Yes, very happy. It's a very happy card. But boy, it's OMG. What they're looking at. Yeah, they're all being threatened. They're loyal to Putin. I feel like you're finally kind of catching on. Thank you. Thank you. It was a little frustrating for a minute. We are in we're in real precariousness right now. Now, there will be an event. I want you to think about this. I want you to just consider this. When 9/11 happened, it was a WTF, wait a minute, we don't want this. It's been about Putin all along. And I'm going to ask the pendulum, I have felt for some time now that we're going to have a wake-up call. And that's what I'm going to say, is we're going to all have a wake-up call. Continue to pray for the light to grow brighter and stronger. Continue to pray and intend for people to wake up. Because I've been getting for a very long time, there's going to be some kind of an attack. Yep. Jen, you need to change that. I'm not going to allow comments like it's too late for wake-up calls in the chat. That's an absolute statement. We don't do that here. And that's not a true statement. And that's a discouraging statement. And we love you dearly. We just want to keep you stay in the lane of, it's never too late for a wake-up call. Never, ever, ever. We have no choice. We have no choice. This is not said with animosity. This is just said in just a guiding, a nudging. It's not too late for anything. It's true. In a catastrophe, people wake up. You just saw where RFK Jr. has gotten caught for voting fraud. And besides the fact, let's go to our logic brain now. And I just want to mention too, I know the past two PNNs have been a lot of just like, we're hanging out and talking. But this time that we're in kind of calls for that. I mean, I have very, very strong psychic impressions about what's coming. I definitely do. I can't even tell you how strong they are. And I've talked about them. But we really need to be having a conversation too, which is, Jen, that's why I said that. Because we want our conversations to be productive and not discouraging. There are too many people in despair right now. And RFK Jr. is a disgrace to his father's name. Macron publicly called out Muskrat for interfering in France's elections. All right, we're going to go to the tea leaves. I want to thank you for being here tonight, and I hope that you share our, I'm going to use my stick of incense for a pointer. You can share this information, and thank you for subscribing. I went beyond 10,000 subscribers, which is a big deal to me because I'm largely shadow blocked. We can't afford. There's a book that Warren, I don't know if Warren's in the chat. He sent it to me because I mentioned it once, and it's called "You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought." You might want to get that book. It's an old one. I'm going to look at the tea leaves because I promised that we'd get back to the tea leaves tonight, and then I'll let you go. Tomorrow night we have a Grassroots of Democracy meeting that is now in a live stream. And what we're going to do is we're actually, yeah, thank you. I got past 10,000, so that was great. Thank you for all your help. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as usual, we have a half an hour Grassroots of Democracy meeting. And last week we did that guided meditation. We're going to do that again. So the first 15 minutes of the live stream tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, is just going to be talking about what's going on. And the second half is going to be a guided meditation. I need this dad joke. Today a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation towards the local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water. I like that one. That's great. Okay. There's a full moon coming up, and most of the activity in the cup tonight is on the full moon. And this full moon, according to our resident astrologer, Kathy Beal, check her out. She's on the show with the Cosmic Owl, is a biggie and marks a turning point. And before I tell you more about that, I want everyone to really just get it in their noggin that this, what's going on right now and has been, is topsy-turvy, and we don't really have timelines, although I was going to check one thing. I almost forgot. We have to just, this is going to unfold, and then that's going to unfold, and then this other thing's going to unfold, and then you're going to have to just be putting the pieces together and drawing conclusions from this is happening here and this is happening there, and pay attention to your impressions. Now, Michael, I barely saw you tonight in the chat. Good advice. Be in nature. On this full moon, which is, I gotta put my new calendar up. And my lunar calendar is here. Hang on a second. Let me grab the lunar calendar. These are still available on my website. My niece makes them by hand. January full moon is on the 13th. And on the 12th, there's some major astrological shifts going on. You got to go to our professional Aquarian for that. Okay, so there's a full moon. See, it's kind of like highlighted. That's the full moon. January 13th. Major shifts there. The reason I'm bringing that up, and definitely buy one of those calendars. Support an artist, relative, my niece. Look at the moon. That's the moon segment of the cup. Oh no, there's lots that's going to happen. Lots that's going to happen. Before I show you more of this, I do want to ask this question. Lots is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Will the American people get the Jack Smith report before January 20th? Yes. I see, that definitely looks like a grasshopper. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of activity and a lot of work going on. During this full moon time, there's a wishbone here, so things that we wished for are going to start coming to light. It's going to be in bits and pieces, people. I just want you to get that. It's going to be in bits and pieces. Don't expect the whole enchilada. Work on your faith. I mean that. So the grasshopper, there's a lot of work being done. Ah, sorry, I just destroyed the grasshopper. Now it turned into like a horse. See that? Now it turned into like a leaping horse. There's a wishbone. That means there's something lucky coming on the full moon time. I'm feeling military stepping in. I really am. And let's see. I see a deer. I see the head of a deer here, right here. And that is, it's you're going to see gentleness and kindness and compassion coming out also in this country. So don't despair. Direct. Oh, thank you, the other Annette. Don't despair. Direct. It does look like we're going to find out more about the January 6th report. I understand that we're in a time, which is a fascist tactic, where we're supposed to, according to fascism and tyranny, what the American people are supposed to do in order for the tyranny to work is we're supposed to go, oh, none of it's ever going to happen. Oh, well, we just have a lawless country. Oh, let's just give up on even expecting anything to happen. That's what they need for us to do, and that's what we're not going to do. We're staying strong. We're holding fast. We're going to meet tomorrow night for our Grassroots of Democracy meeting for 1/2 an hour, 30 minutes. You can show up. And we'll do a guided meditation then. The affirmations for the members are coming back. I have the help that I need again now. So you can expect to start getting affirmations every day if you're a member, every single day. So become a member. We have a psychic party the last Saturday of the month for members. I'm going to open that up to all members. And my income is dependent on readings and donations. So please book a reading for information. And I'm now in the directory for Best American Psychics. So if you want to see my profile there, it's bestamericanpsychics.com. I passed the test. So there. After 31 years, I kind of have a badge of honor. All right. Yes, I definitely, the Harris Waltz flags and then signs aren't coming down ever. All right. So thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow night for our Grassroots of Democracy meeting. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. Love you all more than you ever know. I'm sorry I get feisty, but these are feisty times. All right. See you soon. Have a good night. Take good care. Bye.